I want to share with you an article by Newsweek that caught my attention last week. I'll drop the link. And the gist of it is that it looks at the median wealth of 30 countries. Most of them are in Europe, a few are in Asia. And of 30 countries, the United States ranked number 28. Now, median wealth is not median income, okay? The wealth factor is looking at the total of your assets, and median wealth is looking just at the wealth of the middle class. It takes out the top and it takes out the bottom. So it's not an average, it's just a measure of how well the middle class is doing. So I found it very striking that the United States ranked number 28th. Yet we're considered the most and richest country in the world. So, how does that work? Equally striking was the top two countries. Luxembourg has a median wealth of 400,000, and Belgium has a median wealth of just under 300,000. Why is that? So, that has me thinking about freedom in a different way. Most of us think of freedom as something political: freedom of speech, of religion, freedom to be able to vote, freedom to protest. And these rights are very important and they matter. They are the foundation of our constitutional democracy. But there is also another kind of freedom: economic freedom. The freedom, for example, to leave a job that might be a toxic work environment, or the freedom to be able to take your child to the doctor without fear of worrying about losing wages, or the freedom to pursue your education without carrying debt for years, for decades. So while political freedom asks, what can a government not do to you? Economic freedom asks, what are you really able to do? And these are two very different questions. So imagine an email that you get from your employer, and the gist of it is, due to restructuring, your position has been eliminated. For many Americans, their first thought might not be, how will I find another job? It might actually be, what happens to my health care? How do I buy my child's medication? What happens to my spouse's cancer treatment? Employer sponsored health insurance has definitely assisted millions get coverage. But for many families as well, employment and healthcare are deeply connected. And especially now that the Affordable Care Act has gone through very drastic cuts in the current administration and Congress. The Affordable Care Act used to allow for people to buy health insurance at an affordable rate that was not linked to employment. Perhaps the employer insurance was too expensive, or maybe the person is self employed or has a small business. In these cases, the Affordable Care Act allowed for people to get medical coverage at an affordable rate. I myself used to be an independent contractor for over 10 years. And for the bulk of that time, I had no health insurance. I was not able to really go to the doctor because paying out of pocket was just not an option. I was a single parent at the same time. Until the Affordable Care Act came along, I wasn't able to get health coverage. And when I was sick, I just hoped it would get better. So, when losing a job means risking medical coverage, how free are you really to be able to walk away from a toxic work environment? Economic freedom is just as important and vital as political freedom, because economic constraints also affect how you can exercise your political freedom. I'm not saying that poverty removes your constitutional rights, because they don't. But poverty can definitely limit your options. Think of it this way: you still have freedom of speech, and we still have freedom of expression. But if you're a single parent working two jobs, how much time do you really have to participate in your community or over social issues that are important to you? You still have the right to vote, but what if you can't afford to miss work to go vote because your employer doesn't allow for you during the workday to be able to do it? Survival has a way of pushing political priorities into the background. Poverty changes how freedom is experienced, not because the Constitution changed, only because daily life has changed. Political freedom is attached to economic freedom, and maybe now it's time to start considering other economic structures.